Before we go into those questions, may I comment on something? People have been talking a great deal about the art, about what is art. I believe the root meaning of that word is to put everything in its proper place. Can we talk a little bit about that first? What do you think is the greatest art, the supreme art? Is it the art of listening, the art of seeing, observing, perceiving, and so on, and the art of learning, the art of hearing, the art of seeing, the art of learning. And what do we mean by seeing, observing, perceiving? I'm asking. Please, together we are investigating into these questions. Not that the speaker is talking to himself. We are talking over together these questions, these issues that are confronting almost everywhere you go. We'll have to wait. So let's begin with the art of hearing. We not only hear with the ears, words conveyed, vibrated, and so on to the brain, and surely it's much more than that. The art of hearing something, like a child who listens to a very good story. He's consumed by the story. He's completely involved with the hero or the heroine. He's excited, he's listening. Do we ever listen? We can't do anything, I'm afraid. Do you ever listen to anybody? Do you listen to your wife or husband or your girlfriend? Really listen to what they are conveying, trying to say something? Or do we translate what is being said into our own terminology, comparing with what we already know, judging, evaluating, agreeing, disagreeing, the whole movement that goes on when you listen to another? Is that listening? The speaker is talking now, unfortunately. And are we listening? actually paying attention to the words, to the meaning of words, to the content of words, not translating, comparing, judging, agreeing, just listening. Are we doing that now? And isn't that one of the most important things? How, in what manner we listen to another. The other may be wearing too strong a perfume, and you are repelled by it, or you like it. And in this like and dislike of a perfume or other factors may prevent one from listening. Listening to what the other person has to say. If you have gone into this question rather deeply, you'll find it's one of the most difficult things to listen to another completely. Are we doing that now? Or we are fidgety and so on. So there is an art to listening, right? And there is an art to learn. No, the art of seeing, the art of hearing, the art of seeing. Seeing things as they are. When you look at a tree, do you translate it immediately into words and say, tree? Or do you look at it, perceive it, see the shape of it, see the beauty of the light on a leaf, see the quality of the tree? It's not man-made, fortunately. It's there. So, do we see ourselves as we are, without condemnation, without judgment, evaluation, and so on, just to see what we are, our reactions and responses, our prejudices, opinions, just to see them, that we indulge ourselves in opinions. Not to do anything about it, but just to observe it. Right? Can we do it? So there is an art of seeing things as they are, without naming, without being caught in the network of words. The whole operation of thinking, interfering with perception. That's a great art. And also, there is an art of learning. Isn't there? And what do we mean by learning? Generally, it is understood that learning means memorizing, accumulating, storing up, to use what you have stored up skillfully or not. That's generally called learning, memorizing. School, college, university, or some technological subject, or learning a language, reading, writing, communicating, and so on. The modern computers can do all that better than we can. They're extraordinarily rapid. Right? So what's the difference between us and the computer? I'm asking you. That's learning, being programmed. We've also been programmed in various ways. Tradition, so-called culture, knowledge, so on. We're also being programmed to be Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Tibetan, and all the rest of it, communist, and so on. Is learning that's all? Just memorizing, repeating? Is that learning? We are questioning, we're not saying that's not. It's necessary to learn how to drive a car. It's necessary to learn a language, if you're interested in languages, and so on. And we're asking, is all that learning? Or is learning something much more? Are we together in this? Don't just look at me, please tell me. The person is not very interesting. We're asking something that is learning merely memorizing? And if that's all, then computer can do better than us. And isn't learning something much more? Learning means constantly learning, not accumulating, not gathering in what one has seen, what one has observed, heard, learned, and storing it up. Learning means, to the speaker, a constant observation, listening, moving, never taking a stand, never taking a position, never going back to memory and let memory act. Right? That's a great art. And the art of discipline. That word means to learn. It comes from the root disciple, one who learns from someone else. Not necessarily from the teacher, from the guru. They are generally rather stupid. But to discipline oneself according to a pattern, like a soldier, like a monk, like a person who wants to be very austere, disciplines his body. You understand? The whole process of control, direction, obedience, subservience, and train yourself for that. That's generally understood to be discipline. To me, discipline, to the speaker, is a terrible thing. Because if you know how to, if there is acute hearing, not only by the ear, but also deeply listening to yourself, to everything that's happening. To listen to the birds, to the river, to the forest, to the mount. You follow? Listen. And observing the minutest insect on the floor, if you can see it, if you've got good eyes. And learning. All that constitutes a form of living, which in itself becomes the discipline. Not that there is a person who disciplines himself, but a constant movement. This is the art of living, in which there is no conflict whatsoever. So that where there is conflict, that conflict numbs the brain, destroys the brain. By this great art of living, it is free. And in that freedom, you don't need discipline. There's constantly movement, right? I'll go back to the questions.